Hi, Henry, here today to do your relationship reading that you ordered. Thank you again for your purchase. I appreciate your business. For coming back to me. You told me that I've read for you before. I don't quite, I vaguely remember reading for you before. And I'm excited to have an opportunity to do it for you again. So we're going to be looking today at your relationship situation with your current girlfriend. And you told me that you are a Sagittarius and that she is a Gemini. So for your significators, I'm glad you told me hers as well, because that allows me to pick significators for both of you, which is important. And as I said to you, this is the first time I've ever done this reading for someone. I've done it for myself a couple of times to kind of practice with it. So I'm looking also forward to getting to do this for someone other than myself. So here goes. So for you, I'm going to use the Knight of... I am using the Morgan Greer deck today. I'm not using my Todd. I'm going to use the Knight of Rods to represent you as Sagittarius. And I know that technically the Knight of Rods should probably be more Leo, but personally I do like to associate the Knight of Rods with Sagittarius, just because I think the Knight of Rods, with his very explorative nature, is very Sagittarius-like. Okay, so I think we can get away with that. And then your Gemini girlfriend, I'm going to use the Queen of Swords to represent today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and shuffle these on up and see what we get. I am in my traditional tarot reader garb today. Just trying to keep my my hair out of my face today. I need a haircut pretty bad. All right, let's give it a shot. Okay, so we just finished shuffling and cutting and invoking and all that good stuff. And we've got our significators here. And so what I'm going to do actually is alternate back and forth and then do a central pillar. So this is what I have called or dubbed the Lover's Cross, which is basically a modified version of the Celtic Cross for two people. And essentially the positions are going to be very much the same as the Celtic Cross, but a little bit more geared towards evaluating relationships. So the first card I lay for each person is going to basically give us an overall evaluation of that person's energy in the relationship. Basically, what their personality in the relationship, what their dynamic is, they're on as an individual in the relationship. Crossing is going to be how that person relates to the other individual in the relationship. Crowning is going to be basically what they want to get out of it, what they expect, what it is that they are hoping for or wishing for or wanting out of the relationship, what their needs are. And grounding is going to be, instead of grounding, it's going to be basically like what that person is putting into the relationship, what they are giving out currently. In the past is going to be baggage that they are bringing into the situation, what relevant stuff that they are bringing in that is affecting their relationship with this other person. And in the future, it's going to be basically what they are about to give, or what they are about to contribute to the relationship, how things are going to change, etc. And then the pillar up the middle is going to be evaluating the overall relationship from a physical standpoint, mental standpoint, and a spiritual standpoint. And then the last card will be basically an overall outcome for the situation at hand. So I'll go through all of that again as we lay out cards, but I just wanted to kind of explain that before we start. So again, I will be alternating back and forth. The only thing with this is that it is a big spread. Takes a bit of room, but that's okay. I hope you can see all of this stuff. Okay. Bottom card is a Chariot, so that's good. Your overall energy, Henry, is is pretty in tune with who you are, and hers is as well. I think that you are a pretty optimistic person in this relationship. I think that you tend to be more positive than she is. I think that sometimes she is, well, she's a little, what's the word I want? I almost want to say skeptical. She's not quite sure about a particular decision that she is possibly in the process of making, or something that isn't really going well for her. She is kind of, I want to say she's stuck mentally, whereas I think you feel that things are moving in a good direction. I don't know if she's quite there with you yet. I also see that there is a previous person in her life, a previous man that she may still be getting over in a way. This King of Swords person here. And I think that you are very different from him, because you are a lot more, you're a lot less calculating, and you're definitely a different type of guy than she is perhaps used to, which is not a bad thing. Um, but I don't know. Here's the thing. You are connecting to her. I think you're connecting to her pretty well, but there is something that is not quite clicking. I think you want to take your relationship to a further level, and I don't know that she is ready for that. I want to say that she is still in a process of evaluating how she feels. She is a lot more mental, in the sense that she's a little bit more thought oriented and a little less, I guess, she's less driven by things like emotions and inspirations and things like that. She's more the type of person to really think about things and analyze things and go back and forth on things, which is pretty Gemini. Whereas you, I think, are more the type of person to just go with your gut, and act on your impulses. And I think that you, again, you feel like your relationship for the most part has been going in a good direction. I think you feel that you have overcome, some bumps and issues, because there definitely have been some difficulties, perhaps arising from her previous relationship, and I get the sense that he was not necessarily always truthful with her, and part of this is her learning to trust you more, and I think that you, again, you feel that you have displayed reasons, you've given her reasons to trust you, but I don't know that she entirely is there yet. I think for the most part she feels that you are, I think she feels that you are a change of luck for her, but I don't know that she is entirely sure of it yet, which is a little strange. I don't know how long you guys have been together. I think that you guys have been through a fair amount already, given the Chariot, and given your feelings towards the Six of Wands here. But at the same time, she isn't quite ready to take this to the next level yet. And if you are considering taking it to the next level, I mean, I would assume then that you've been together for a fairly long time, enough to consider that. You are looking to establish it more and solidify it more, and possibly even pop the question. But that is not something that you are entirely confident in, because you're not quite, I don't think you're quite sure how to read her. The baggage that you're bringing in is the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And this tells me that you perhaps have not. I want to say that you need to build this a little longer. That rushing this is not a great idea. Because I think the Eight of Pentacles is reversed is telling me, and yes, by the way, this is the first video I will be doing with reversals as well because I felt like doing it today. It tells me that you are bringing some kind of impractical energy to this reading from your past. Either you are going about it in a way that is not slow and methodical enough, or you just are wanting to move things along quickly. And you know, relationships, particularly this one where she is in a state of greater analysis, I don't know that you want to push her in any direction just yet. I think that you need to continue to cooperate with her and try to understand the mental processes that she is going through. And a lot of it is, I would say a lot of it is connected to her previous relationship. I see that she's pretty hung up on that still. And, you know, even though you are a change for her, she's not able to let go of that entirely. And she has trust issues because of this guy. And that is a problem for you. So, you know, try your best to be respectful of that. You know, if you do really care about her, then it's important for you to be mindful of that. Now, I see her becoming a little warmer as time goes on. You know, I think that for you are you have the world for your immediate future, or for your the energy that you are about to bring in. And so, again, there's this idea between the Four of Wands and the world. There's this idea of you trying very hard to bring this to completion, to bring this to manifestation. And the only way that I can think of that this would, you know, that this would be representing is marriage of some kind, or like moving in with each other, or again, I don't know what your exact situation with her is, but you are definitely looking to solidify this more, and you are going to continue to try to do this in the future. And I think she is, I want to say that she is going to kind of go along with it, being the Queen of Cups in her immediate future. You know, she is going to soften a little bit. You know, she's going to lose some of that edge that she may have, and I think she's going to eventually learn to trust you more, for sure. But at the same time, I don't know that she's also going to open up as much as you may like. You know, she may not express everything that is on her mind. Here's the thing. What you want out of the relationship is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I think you don't want it to be just frankly just a sexual thing. I think that, you know, your relationship physically has this energy of being a learning experience for both of you. That this has good physical energy to it, but that, you know, she is trying to learn about, I think, learn about and explore her sexuality safely with you, and I think that that's important. But I think that you are afraid of it just staying there, you know, and maybe that is the next level that we're talking about in this reading for you, is that you don't want it to just remain in the realm of sexual gratification, you know. Mentally, you know, whereas the thing is, she wants what she wants out of the relationship is self-empowerment, actually. She is, I think, trying hard to. I think she is trying to separate herself as much as possible from her previous negative experiences with men. And I think she is trying to find a degree of independence from that, if you catch my drift. You know, I think she wants. I think that by exploring her sexuality comfortably with you, that this possibly is an opportunity for her to feel more empowered, to feel more secure. The two of wands. Either way, you know, the funny thing is that either way, I'll be very honest, you guys don't have your relationship is more practical than it is deep, to be honest with you. You know, you're mentally, I think you guys get along well. I think mentally, you have the Eight of Wands, so that tells me that, you know, your conversations are fun. The relationship is a little sporadic too. It's a little come and go, and it's a little flighty, and I think that maybe bothers you too. The relationship is not as serious as you would like it to be in some way. But spiritually, you guys are represented by the Seven of Cups. And so it's almost like spiritually, you guys are both left wanting in some way. Spiritually, your relationship is not as fulfilling as it could be. And I think that is the cause of some of this need that you're feeling intuitively to push you towards completing it more. And I think you feel that if you bring this to the next level, that's going to fill in that spiritual gap that you feel. You know, you are missing something, and you guys are both looking for something else that the other is not quite giving the other, you know, and maybe you guys just need to talk it out about this. Let me see. Okay, the overall outcome for this is the Ace of Swords for you guys reversed. And I see this as, you know, not really wanting to look necessarily at the situation clearly. The Ace of Swords is indicative of clarity and insight and getting a bright idea. And reversed, that energy is blocked in some way. And I think that there's going to continue to be kind of a lack of facing reality, to be honest with you. I think that, again, the Queen of Cups, for her energy moving into the future, is very passive and is kind of just like, I'm going to go with the flow because I don't want to deal with confrontation. And I see this in the overall outcome as well, this lack of confrontation, which is not necessarily a good thing. You know, you would think that it is a good thing to not necessarily want to confront each other in any way. But at the same time, you know, your relationship does have some issues that need to be worked out, and I think that being able to communicate about it is pretty important. Yeah, the Two of Wands too is just, that's an interesting card to describe what it is she wants out of this relationship. And, you know, if it isn't that she wants empowerment for herself, it could be that she is looking for a guy who is pretty authoritative and I kind of want to say dominant in a way. She's looking for someone who is pretty, well, I would say pretty macho in a way, pretty assertive and ambitious, and yeah, pretty. What's the word I want? Masculine, really. I mean, the two of wands to describe what you want out of a relationship is definitely, very masculine energy and very strong erotic energy as well. And I think that this is not necessarily something that you aren't capable of rising to the occasion with. Because I think that is part of your persona as a Sagittarius and as a fire sign. I think that you can tap into that more. I think, based on this, possibly it might not be a bad thing for you to try to consider that as well, and not, I don't know, don't try not to see that aspect of your relationship as a hindrance to its growth. I actually think that, if you can try to understand that need of hers, that might help and make you not feel as if you have to push this so hard. Again, it's hard for me to say because I don't know how long you guys have been together. If you guys have been together for a long time, and this is just not really going anywhere, then maybe it is time for you guys to have some kind of chat about this. If you guys have only been together a couple of months or whatever, again, I'm so sorry, I forget if you were dating her at the time of your last reading as well, but. Yeah, I'm concerned that this hasn't been going anywhere, and I don't know that what she's looking for right now is entirely what you're looking for. Again, that leaves you both with this spiritual gap with the Seven of Cups. And that concerns me. And there is not a whole lot of other water in your reading to support the idea of a really good connection with each other. You guys are missing the mark in some way. And I don't think it's necessarily one person or the other. I think you both are not quite coming to terms with different things on your own. And that's not allowing you to meet in the middle well. Because in the middle, the way you guys are actually meeting and interacting with each other is okay, but it isn't what either of you are really looking for. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I think that the best thing for you to do is to try to communicate about this more and to really, really be honest with yourselves personally and privately about what it is you want and whether or not the other person is really capable of giving that to you. And Henry, if what you're looking for is something more serious and she just keeps digging in her heels, I don't know that that's really what you're looking for either. This is a tricky thing. And I think you have to ask yourself, are you in this relationship because you really love her? Or are you in this relationship just because you want to settle down? And that's an important question to ask yourself, given what I see here. I think that you do have some feelings for her just based on what you're looking for. You want something that's less superficial in some way. Again, that Ace of Pentacles reversed is just really not digging. It's really not jiving with the Page of Pentacles, which is how your sex life is. You know, your sex life is very explorative and is very. I kind of want to say it's a little innocent. You know, it's young. The Page of Pentacles is so young, and it's inexperienced, and it's learning and trying to develop new skills. And you, on some level, are rejecting that. You don't really want that in some way. You know, because the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles are really, in some ways, the same card. The Page of Pentacles is the Ace of Pentacles personified, ultimately. And so, and she, to be fair, also is represented more by this Page energy than you are. You know, she is a lot. I want to say that she's younger, too, than you are. And this may also be a problem for you, being more of a mature person and having more of a mature perspective on this and your relationship and what your goals are for the relationship. I think that can also be part of the reason why you're having a disconnect. And I am afraid that her Queen of Cupsiness, her willingness to just kind of go with the flow instead of really speaking her mind, is going to get her in trouble and subsequently you in trouble down the road. And I don't know that that's because, whether or not that's because she's used to that, to being more of a passive person, and maybe that's how she's gotten herself into not great relationships in the past. But either way, her judgment is kind of fuzzy right now about this relationship, and she's thinking so much about it. She's not feeling, and she's thinking so much, and she's very wrapped in her head. You know, I want to say at the same time that the Queen of Cups is again going to contribute more of a sweetness to your relationship in the future. But again, given the context, I don't know that that's a great thing, because again, the Queen of Cups is also resonating with the Seven of Cups here, and that's the only other card that she's connecting with. So in the future, she's only going to continue perpetuating this energy of just dreaming about what she wants instead of telling you what she wants, you know, which is not great for your spiritual well-being as a couple. And if marriage is really something that you're looking at, Henry, you know, the spiritual basis of a relationship is so important for marriage, I think. You know, marriage, whatever you want to say about marriage as an institution, I think marriage really needs to only be considered when the relationship is really got spiritual depth to it, you know, that there's real connection there. And right now, you guys aren't connecting. So, you know, take a step back, think about this. Try to think about what she's thinking, and maybe it is time for a conversation. I don't know, you know. That's up to you, and I don't want to say one thing or another is better, because I'm not really sure here, and maybe this just needs to play out its course. But as of right now, there's just such confusion as to where you guys are going, and you want to be making sure that you guys are both going in the same direction together. Because you've both chosen it, and you don't want to be the only one calling the shots and making the decisions about your relationship, you know, just because you're the more active personality and the more extroverted personality or whatever, you know, or the more dominant personality. I don't know. I think there's some danger in that, particularly if you're looking for a long-term thing in which both of your inputs and needs are going to factor in quite a lot into the health of your relationship. So I want to say that that's all I've got for you out of this today. I hope that this helps. I know this may not have been exactly what you wanted to hear, but I do hope that it helps, and I do hope that it gives you some new perspective and hopefully some helpful advice and some interesting insight for you. So as always, thank you so much again for coming to me for your reading, and I really wish you the best of luck. Relationships are so hard, Henry. They are so hard, and I encourage you to keep the faith, as they say. So best of luck to you, and I hope it all works out. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any feedback, let me know. And thank you very much again. Take care, and hope to hear from you soon. Bye, Henry. Thanks.